Hi guys, just wanted to come on here briefly and recommend a fantastic game I just finished playing on the Sega CD, Rise of the Dragon. Now, if you're like me and you're a fan of a lot of old Sierra and LucasArts point-and-click adventures from the 90s, this is a really great option for your Sega CD. It's a first-person point-and-click adventure, a cyberpunk noir story, similar in many ways to something like Snatcher, and I definitely recommend it because while Snatcher is an amazing game, it's also incredibly expensive on the Sega CD in English, and this, while not as much of an instant classic, is definitely a much cheaper alternative. So if you're a fan of that type of game and you really don't want to spend a couple $100, go out and spend 20, 30 bucks at most finding a copy of Rise of the Dragon. It's a great game. I will say there are a couple flaws to look out for if you're someone who plays those games primarily for the puzzles rather than the atmosphere and the style and the storyline. You might be a little disappointed. It does have very few traditional puzzles. The puzzles come more in the form of just the dialogue choices, making all the correct choices to progress dialogue in a certain manner that'll help you progress the storyline. Little things like knowing to go into a certain place and take a key and leave before the police show up, and then coming back to do your investigation. And the time limit system, it takes place over the course of about 4 days, and there are certain things that you have to do within that certain frame, certain period of time, and there are other things that you can only do once you get to that last fourth day. So there are a few limitations, and it does have a problem with a lot of no-win scenarios where if you make the wrong choices in the dialogue trees, if you take the wrong path, there are far too many, in my opinion, not necessarily just game over issues, but issues where you'll just be completely stuck. If you miss taking a certain item from your apartment, it becomes next to impossible to get your gun back, and just different options where there are a few too many issues like that for a game that's really under 5 hours long. But other than that, it is a very fun game. It's a great experience. Imperfect, but if you're looking for a cyberpunk noir style point and click adventure, you could do worse than this, and it's definitely one of the better ones on the Sega CD, and a pretty cheap game to find, pretty easy game to find. I definitely think you should check out Rise of the Dragon if it sounds interesting to you. I enjoyed my time with it, and it's a game that I definitely recommend for Sega fans to check out.